Like most newlyweds here, they moved into a small trailer and started raising a family. After 8 years of living in monogamy, they were joined by a second wife, Becca.
So what happened with you, Becca?
One day I was in church, and I was sitting with my sister Sharon, and I saw him walk through the door. I had a feeling just come over me, and I turned to Sharon and I said, yeah, that's who I feel like I belong to.
In our religion, we have one husband and multiple wives.
I'm Colton's first wife and Sophie's sister wife. Well, obviously, he's pretty cute. He's also a cowboy, so.
Sort of. Basically, Adam, this involves one man, two women, and no jealousy.
Yeah, there's definitely some jealousy, but it's the kind of jealousy you'd get if, like, one of your friends was going on a vacation with a bunch of your other friends and you had to stay behind and work. It's that kind of jealousy when it does.
So not a romantic jealousy?
No, yeah, and it'll often come because, like, I'll be at work and the girls will be like, hey, we're going to go and get our nails done today. And I'm like, well, that sucks.
So you're jealous?
This is 28-year-old Isaiah and his two wives, 28-year-old Marlene and 20-year-old Becca.
So you two have been married for how long?
10 years.
10 years. Mm-hmm. And you two have been married for how long?
Us three have been married for about a year and a half.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Marlene and Isaiah married young. Both were only 18, but committed to living in a plural marriage.
If Isaiah would have told me that he didn't want this before we got married, I wouldn't have married him.
Vice versa.
Like most newlyweds here, they moved into a small trailer and started raising a family. After 8 years of living in monogamy, they were joined by a second wife, Becca.
So what happened with you, Becca?
One day I was in church, and I was sitting with my sister Sharon, and I saw him walk through the door. I had a feeling just come over me, and I turned to Sharon and I said, yeah, that's who I feel like I belong to.
At 19, Becca married Isaiah and Marlene. As I watched the three of them, laughing, joking, and making sushi, they make it look so easy. They could be the poster family for polygamy. And I have to wonder, did they always get along this well?
It kind of messed with my head a little bit. I mean, we're so different, you know? I mean, I'm tall, she's short, she's blonde, I'm brunette.
Would you characterize it as kind of a little envy or jealousy initially?
Yeah. I think that there's absolutely jealousies to work through. I think it's a normal human emotion.
How does the sleeping situation work? Do you sleep in one room one night and then the next room the next? I mean, is it just back and forth?
I'll stay 2 nights with Rebecca and stay 2 nights with Marlene and just back and forth like that.
I couldn't do it. Like, just the idea of it. I just, of someone else with my husband.
You can't look at it from sharing your man aspect. You have to look at it like joining the family. Like, her kids are my kids. And if I couldn't have kids, I would still have kids. If he was gone, I wouldn't be alone. I would have her.
In our religion, we have one husband and multiple wives.
I'm Colton's first wife and Sophie's sister wife. Well, obviously, he's pretty cute. He's also a cowboy, so.
Sort of.
Tammy and I both have a separate physical relationship with Colton, but Tammy and I do not have a physical relationship with each other.
Colton, is your plural marriage recognized legally?
In the state of Utah, it was actually illegal to live the way that we live. Now it's frowned upon. I'm Colton, and I have two wives, Tammy and Sophie. Plural marriage for us is a little more specific than polygamy. Plural marriage is polygamy lived with a very religious, spiritual purpose behind it. It's more about our faith.
I met Colton 13 years ago, and we've been married for 12 years. When Colton and I got married, we both believed in plural marriage. Eventually got to the point where we felt like if we were supposed to live this way, we'd find another wife, and then we did.
So for the first 2 years of our marriage, we lived separately. We just wanted to kind of ease into plural marriage at a comfortable pace.
How do you feel when we first got married? Like, how did that feel coming in?
I didn't know what to expect, and you were very, very quiet.
It took a while.
Yeah, yep. I feel like the hardest part about it was kind of realizing that Tammy and I still didn't know each other very well. We didn't understand each other's personalities at that point. After moving in together, Tammy and I finally got to know each other better, and I was finally able to understand her personality better rather than just being totally clueless.
Basically, Adam, this involves one man, two women, and no jealousy.
Yeah, there's definitely some jealousy, but it's the kind of jealousy you'd get if like one of your friends was going on a vacation with a bunch of your other friends and you had to stay behind and work. It's that kind of jealousy when it does
So
come.
not a romantic jealousy?
No, yeah, and it'll often come because like I'll be at work and the girls will be like, hey, we're gonna go and get our nails done today. And I'm like, well, that sucks.
So you're jealous?
Yeah, and I think, they've all had that same experience.
Well, I have to say, I am always intrigued when people say, oh, no, we're not jealous, we're not jealous. And I have to just poke a little bit more because I'm a woman and I would be jealous. I've often talked about that. I don't like the fact that I would get so jealous. I'd like to be more mature.
Would you not think
I'm
that's
not.
pretty unreasonable? If I was there, if I was Adam and one of these ladies was you, what would the problem be? What would the problem
I would be, yes, the amount of time divided, how you divide your time. So can you honestly say to me, Jane, that you'll never get jealous if Adam is with Brooke or, he's taken her out for the evening or he's spending time in her bedroom? How does that work?
Again, I don't have romantic jealousy. I have jealousy on missing out on experience more. As you know, we're here on vacation in England, and we planned this big cruise one way to go cruise from America to England, and then I got pregnant and I couldn't come. So I figured, since we already pre-booked everything, they should go together, and they did. But I was missing out. I was jealous because all these fancy dinners and shows they watched, and I was like, man, I want to see.
So you're not thinking, oh, they're sitting holding hands. Or they're sleeping together. Because I think, Jane, you and Adam were together first, weren't you?
Yeah, Brooke, but yes, we were both together first.
Yes, okay. So how did Jane come into this relationship? Whose idea was it?
Yeah.
How did that conversation go?
When Adam and I met, I told him straight away, hey, just so you know, I like women as well as men, and it's a part of my personality and my sexuality that you can't solve by yourself. I kind of need that full spectrum. And so he was like, great, I will happily date more than one woman.
Okay.
And so we kind of, from the beginning, knew that this is what our relationship would look like. And I think when we met Jane, we didn't intend for it to be as serious as it is. And we've ended up building a family and a business and a whole life together. So it's kind of crazy that it fell together so
So this
easily.
is not for everyone, Brooke. So you say you like women as well as men. Jane, do you like women as well as men?
Yes.
Okay. Would this relationship work if it was two men, one woman?
We've actually spoken to many groups or poly people who have that situation, and they get frustrated that this gets more media coverage, right? That this is more in the news because they feel that this is more of a negative representation, whereas it is perfectly acceptable for two men and a woman to be together, or for 4 people or 5 people or whatever.
I think that's the trouble, Adam, isn't it? There's always that kind of notion of, oh, he's having his cake and eating it. Oh, he's happy, lucky chap. Explain to us why it's deeper than that for you.
Yeah, I think, I get that a lot from people saying that. And then it's when they start thinking about what day-to-day life is like, they start thinking, actually, maybe I don't want to handle that. And there are definitely moments where I'll be like, okay, guys, I'm going outside. I'm going to be downstairs for like 5 minutes on my own. I need a breather from the situation. But at the same time, just like Brooke said, this happened organically and it's still evolving.